This is Mike, NoStressMike.com, number 2 on talking to American youth. I wish I could say it is towards the youth of the whole world, but the thing that separates American youth from the youth from other countries, even though they speak English or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. The difference is the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. These are things that they used to teach in school because when you understand that and you understand history on what makes America so special, and this is why a lot of other countries don't understand, and that's why they get jealous of America. And when I talk about other countries, I'm talking about they're fed propaganda. They don't understand the whole story. I made a series on why do Americans kill. Okay, I tried to help. Really, I made that for foreigners because when I travel around, now I'm in China, and in this part of China, there's no Americans at all, and I stand out. I mean, it's not just by my appearance, my dress, the way I dress and stuff like that. No. I mentioned in another video, matter of fact, today, my wife saw one of her friends at the market that I haven't met. And so then when she saw her and she said, "That's my friend," I took my hat off. And, big old grin. Using manners, and man, boy, you could see it in her face. She knew, wow, who is this guy? And I can't speak the language, and so that's another thing that makes me stand out. But I stand out in a positive way. I also talked about trying to get through. Well, I'm already through it now, but I was having some legal problems or visa problems. And I've already made acquaintances in the police department, what do they call it, the Public Safety Bureau or something like that. And how and why? My mannerisms. Okay, I act the part. Okay, now what you're seeing when the youth is acting stupid, they are acting the part. But the part is what you need to look at. You need to, because the peer pressure is what gets people thinking, well, there must be something wrong with me. I had the same problem when I was younger. I thought, well, there must be something wrong with me. The only difference was when I was young, really young, when I talked maybe 6, 7 years old, I started into martial arts. And so I'm not the number one jock in school. I wasn't. But at the same time, the number one jock knew that I was the competition. And the thing was, I am not, and that number one jock, you look at him, and you will see he's running around in his little clique, and people would see me, and they say, well, he's a loner, because I'm by myself, and the thing that they missed was, it wasn't I was by myself. I run ahead of the pack. So, and even when I was at the youth, the other youth like me, they didn't look at me and say, hey, you know, he's an example we're going to follow. No, they didn't do that. Because, like I say, I'm so far ahead, they just couldn't see it. And like I say, so I stood out even at that time. But what it was taking personal responsibility. So when the bullying started and all this kind of stuff, hey, let's get after it, you know. So, you know, no big deal. And after knocking heads with a few bullies, it doesn't matter win or lose. When you're a little kid, I mean, hey, it's not like they're going to kill you. So, you know, it's just you might get a tooth knocked out or something like that, but, you know, it's not that brutal. And so I dealt with those bullies. And then after I dealt with the bullies, well, then the bullies, word got around, the bullies kind of stayed away from me. My problem was, hey, I know I am not equal. And physically, I know I'm a little bit more, I don't know how you say it, but I'm more experienced, I guess. And so my problem was morals. Oh, God. I started working my value system when I was young. Like I say, I'm not of any type of religion, but I think that is one of the good things about religions, is they give you some kind of value system to work on. And then you develop this value system. Now, what's to make the value system strong? And how does that value system give you strength? It's the morals that comes in afterwards. Now, I'm not going to go into the values and morals because, boy, that's a whole other thing too. And I say I've pieced it out in other videos, but that's to help you when you're watching these videos and you hear me talk about morals and personal responsibility. This is where it's coming from. And but anyway, okay, like these. And this is why I'm not a protesting kind of guy. I think that was what one of the Bill of Rights and stuff, you know, so we can say stuff, freedom of speech kind of thing, you know. But they use it for the media. This is what protects the communists. Well, I don't want to call them like that. I mean, it's because it's not just the communists. Like I say, it's communist, socialist, progressive, Marxist, you know, I mean, all of these. So, you know, but we pretty much call them snowflakes, I think is what the word is that they call them now. Personally, I like to call them zombies because they're mindless. Whatever, they're in a human body, but they're mindless. They just kind of go along, do whatever. Why? They have no values. And so, and if you don't have any values, values is what builds your character. You have the values, and then that makes your character. Except for sometimes standing behind your values is difficult. That's where the morals come from. You have a moral obligation. That's why zombies, they sure don't have any morals. You know what I mean? I say, so this is what I'm saying. They're mindless. So, you know, snowflakes, zombies, you know, weirdos, whatever you want to call them. But like I say, their agenda is in their minds, well, you know, okay, we're talking about the guns. Well, we need to get rid of the guns. Okay. Because, you know, without guns, then there won't be any, you know, any murders and stuff like that. These school shootings, they won't have any of that. You know, hey, that kind of logic you know, what they need to do is cut their pecker off too, and then they won't have any young youth pregnancies. You know, I mean, come on. You know, that's what happens when you don't fully think things out. That's what happens when you don't use your individual powers. And these powers is what makes your values and morals strong. Okay, now, the one reason why I said I treat young folk like adults, and the thing is, okay, I was 18 years old, I was in the Marines, I was living in the jungles of Vietnam, and I was killing people. Some of these people were younger than me. So I don't really look at younger folk any different than I would as an adult. Like I say, a good example, I shot those people in the convenience store. The two criminals, part of a gang, and what happened is they were, I think, 16 to 17 years old. Didn't make any difference. I didn't care how old they were. They were criminals. You know, they could be treasonous. You know, there's anything that's really bad, and my value system says this is bad, don't do it. I tried to convince people, don't do this, before you get me in a situation where I have to use my morals. Because once I use my morals, that's a moral obligation. That's where the United States Constitution comes in. But anyway, let's go to part 3. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.